Republicans have gained 23,000 voters. Democrats have lost nearly 50,000 votes in just, what, 3 months? What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and we have to talk about the state of New York. Because the state of New York has been a Democrat stronghold since the 90s. I mean, this state has voted Democrat by like 10, 15, 20, 30 points in nearly every single election since the mid-90s. So it's been a Democrat stronghold for decades now. But that might be changing, as we have brand new voter registration numbers out of the state, and well, to say these are bad for Democrats would be an understatement. These are not just bad. These are DEFCON 1 numbers for the Democrat Party. Now, before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content, but enough of the promotional stuff. We gotta talk about New York because, holy crap, these numbers are bad for Dems. I mean, look at this. Since November of 2024, Republicans have gained 23,000 voters. Democrats have lost nearly 50,000 votes in just, what, 3 months? That is a huge swing. Now, obviously, in the state of New York, Democrats have a huge majority. I mean, look at this. They have roughly 5.9 million voters. Republicans only got 2.8 million. So Democrats right now, they still have an advantage of roughly 3 million votes, which is a lot. But look at the trends. In November of 2020, Democrats led by roughly 3.4 million voters. All right, that's a pretty large number. In November 2022, it was down to 3.3 million. And then November of 2024, it was down to 3.1 million. Yeah, so in every single update, every single year, this number keeps going down and down and down for Democrats. Republicans, meanwhile, since November of 2020, have had a net gain of roughly 120,000 votes. Democrats have gone down by roughly 250,000. So it's been a net gain of 400,000 votes in just 4 years. That's a huge swing, even for New York, which has a lot of voters, obviously. But for the state of New York, a swing of that magnitude is a big deal. And in fact, we saw this swing happen in 2024. In 2024, yeah, Harris won New York by roughly 12 points and by roughly 1 million votes. But compared to Biden, compared to Clinton, compared to Obama, this was pathetic. Democrats for decades were winning New York by ridiculous margins every single year. But in 2024, they did bad. They did horrendous here. I mean, look at some of these results in New York City. Look at Queens. Trump got 37%. Look at Brooklyn. Trump got 27%. Look at the Bronx. 27%. Harris did pathetic in New York City. Like, yeah, she still won it, but these results are just bad. A Democrat is supposed to win these areas by like 10, 20 points more, but she didn't. She collapsed everywhere in the state. Look at Staten Island. Look at this. Trump plus 30. This has been more Republican leaning, I get that, but not by 30 points. Usually a Republican, they win it by, a couple points, maybe up to 10 points, not by 30%. You can look at Long Island, same deal. Nassau County, Trump won it by 4. You look at Suffolk, Trump won by 10. He did great across the entire state. And 2024 was not the first signs of this happening. Back in 2022, Lee Zeldin ran for governor, and I know a governorship election, it's not the same thing, but either way, Lee Zeldin, he lost by only 5 to 6 points in New York. He did fantastic in the state of New York as a Republican. In 2022, 2024, Republicans up and down the ballot did great here. It wasn't just Trump doing good and that's it. No, it is clear that up and down the ballot for basically every single race, Republicans are surging in the state of New York. And the voter registration trends confirm this. They confirm the fact that, hey, there's something brewing in New York. Because Republicans post-election, they're surging. They have gained 23,000 votes in just a couple of months. Democrats have collapsed and lost 50,000. And they keep going down and down and down. And voter registration, it's not everything. I'm not denying that. Like, yeah, voter registration, it can be misleading. I understand that. But the thing is, it's also very predictive. Look at what happened in Arizona. Look at what happened in Nevada, Pennsylvania. These states, for 2 to 3 years, Republicans were surging in voter registration. And well, Trump won Arizona by 6, he won Nevada by 3, he won Pennsylvania by like 2. He did great in these states, and well, voter registration, they were indicating for years that Democrats were collapsing everywhere, Republicans were going up, even in states like Arizona, which is a couple years ago, everyone thought was a Democrat state. But now, we have the same trends impacting New York. That's a big deal. And you would think Democrats would look at this and say, okay, you know what? It's obvious that no one likes our policy. Everyone thinks we're lunatics, we are delusional, we are out of touch. Hey, maybe we should, moderate our policies, because it's clear, even in Democrat states, the average voter is starting to reject the Democrat Party because their policies are insane, they don't work, and everyone with a brain realizes that, oh yeah, this is crazy. We gotta stop voting for this crap. That's what any reasonable party would do after an election like 2024 where they got crushed. I mean, you lose the popular vote to Trump by 1.5%. I mean, he won it by 2 million votes. He won all the swing states, and he basically changed the electoral map for good. So the Democrat Party, they're in deep trouble now. But you would think, okay, they would learn their lesson and stop being out of touch with reality. But for whatever reason, this party has learned nothing. And in fact, they are tripling down on their same crap. Now, a big reason Democrats have done so poorly in a place like New York is stuff like cost of living, stuff like crime, immigration. These issues, they hammer a state like New York badly. That's why Democrats, they've been doing horrible here for years now. Well, they still win it, but not by the margins they should be. While the Democrat Party, they looked at that and said to themselves, we are losing because of immigration. You know what? I have an idea. Why not we go after Eric Adams for trying to enforce immigration laws, who, by the way, is a Democrat mayor? Yeah, this is real. Governor Kathy Hochul is going after Eric Adams for enforcing immigration laws. I'm not even joking. That's real. The Democrat Party, they didn't go after Eric Adams for corruption. They went after him because he's enforcing immigration laws. The one issue that everyone would agree to Democrats are getting killed with. Immigration's like an 80-20 issue at this point. And Democrats, they really think if they triple down on their same BS, people will support it. No! People are going to say, wait a minute, you did nothing with Eric Adams when he was charged with corruption. But the millisecond he's actually doing something about immigration, you decide to go after him? And you're trying to sanction him, and, you're not going to remove him, which was the rumor that, hey, Kathy Hochul could theoretically remove Adams, but instead, they're going to sanction him and make him basically worthless. He can't do anything. I mean, Democrats are so out of touch that they really think this is popular. It's not. This crap is why Democrats did horrendous in New York in 2024, and why there's a good chance that in 2026, they could lose the governor election. Which I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but you look at the current polling from Siena College, and well, look at this. Kathy Hochul is only at 31% in the newest poll. A different candidate, which, you could say, well, that's just a generic candidate. That's not really a fair comparison. But either way, 57% of voters are saying, we're done with Kathy Hochul. We want someone different. And 12% are undecided. If Michael Lawler runs, which I think he's going to, if he runs, Kathy Hochul's in deep trouble. She is in deep trouble if Michael Lawler runs. Because Lawler's a strong candidate. He's very well liked. He's an electoral juggernaut. And Kathy Hochul is just unpopular. Now, Democrats, they're trying to prop her up as this, strong Democrat incumbent because she stood up to the orange man. No. The average voter, even in New York, is going to say, what the hell are we doing here? Kathy Hochul's attacking Trump for trying to lower our prices, for trying to deal with the issue of immigration. That's what you're trying to act tough about Trump doing his job? That's not a good strategy. And again, it's very early, a lot could change, but these numbers for Democrats in New York, especially if Kathy Hochul is the nominee, which is not a guarantee, by the way. There's a chance that someone like Richie Torres, he may run. And I'm not saying he's going to win, but that primary could be bad for Hochul. That's a problem here. They're so out of touch that there's a good chance that they could potentially lose New York in 2026. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but there's a good chance. With the current state of affairs in the state, Democrats, they are in trouble. They're in big trouble with voter registration, with polling. The fact is that basically every metric is indicating that the state of New York, it is continuing to swing to the right. Now, this is a big deal because you look at the electoral map, and I'm not saying New York's going to flip in 5 years or whatever. It's not even in 2026. Like, I think Michael Lawler has a good chance, but I'm not saying it's a guarantee. But the reason it's a big deal if Republicans could somehow sneak out a victory in the state is, well, let's say they win Pennsylvania, they win North Carolina, and they win New York, which is unlikely, but, or I should say unlikely, just, not a guarantee, obviously, but if they win New York down the line, well, in this scenario, they don't need any other swing state. They could lose Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, hell, even Nevada and Arizona, which both those states look good for Republicans, by the way. They don't need any of them. In fact, they could possibly even lose a place like North Carolina, but if they win Nevada, which the trends are good in, well, that's enough for 270. And that's not even factoring in New Jersey. If Trump or Republicans win New York, they're in a good position in New Jersey. That's why it's a big deal. If Republicans are really doing this much better in New York, in New Jersey, which that's what the numbers are showing, well, the Democrat pathway to the presidency is all but dead. Because they have to win a place like Wisconsin, Michigan, which is possible, I get that. Georgia, yeah, it looks bad for Republicans, but Pennsylvania? It's still going to be a swing state, but the numbers are looking bad for Dems there. And for Democrats in Nevada and Arizona, it's looking even worse. So, again, I'm not saying this map's going to happen, but now do you see the problem? The Democrats cannot afford to lose anything. If New York is even remotely competitive, they cannot lose a single state. They cannot lose a damn thing, because if they do, they're done. They cannot win the presidency if they lose a single state with this map. They can afford to lose even New Hampshire, but you get the point that they have to win everything except maybe Wisconsin, right? They can lose Wisconsin and still maybe sneak it by. But do Democrats really think this is good for them? That they have to run the table so much that if they lose a single state, it's over. They lose the presidency, it's over. This is where Democrats are heading towards if they don't get their act together now. If they don't fix the party now, they're in deep trouble. Because you're talking about states like New York, New Jersey, states that should be Democrat strongholds, shifting heavy to the right. And there are no signs that that's going to stop. Just voter registration alone indicates that, yeah, these states, while it's still going to be Democrat leaning more than likely, there's a chance that, hey, maybe Republicans down the line, they could win a state like New York. Maybe they can win a state like, I don't know, New Jersey. But that's a problem. They cannot afford to lose anything. If you're a Democrat, how can you look at this and say, there's nothing wrong here, we just got to triple down, and if we triple down hard enough, we're going to win? No, you're not. If you triple down again, you're going to get crushed. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.